The idea of the Development Fund is that it will bring together people with the skill set it takes to pull off a project like moving a house and putting preservation covenants on a lot.
These Victorian neighborhoods and early 20th century streetcar suburbs really make Greensboro a special place, and that's something we want to preserve and enhance.
Historic preservation is definitely the ultimate recycling.
The Development Fund was established in 1989 as part of a fundraising effort of Preservation Greensboro, and it was created in order to partner with land interests, real estate owners, and donors throughout the city that wanted to preserve historic buildings.
The Development Fund is a North Carolina nonprofit corporation with 501c3 status. One of the most important things we do with the Development Fund is it's almost sort of a matchmaking service where someone has a need and someone else has an opportunity. What we do is we look for someone who has a problem and then a preservation solution that we can bring to bear by bringing other people together and having a collaborative approach. With the Bowman house, we had an elderly gentleman who had a beloved house, a house that his parents had built, but it had been condemned and was going to be demolished, and he couldn't afford to make the repairs that needed to be made to stop the demolition. We were able to match him up with a young woman who was looking for a great fixer-upper opportunity. So we put them together and put the deal together. Mr. Bowman donated the house to us. We were able to sell it to the purchaser and enter into an agreement that required her to essentially fix it up. And then once again, that property is protected in perpetuity with preservation easements.
I was actually just looking at houses in general, and I came and looked at the house and fell in love with it. When I met with someone from PGI, they explained the history of the house and all the protective covenants they had set up. Renovating a house like this has been something I always dreamed of doing and never imagined that I would be doing it so young. Renovation took about 6 months. Updating the kitchen and adding a bathroom were two other things that took a lot of time. Some of the original cabinets were preserved. These cabinets here are original, and then this whole wall of cabinets over here are original. Meeting with Mr. Bowman was really great. He told me a lot of the history about the house, a lot about his family and growing up here. This dining room furniture was given to me by Mr. Bowman, and it's the furniture that his parents bought originally when they moved into the house in 1923. He showed me pictures of him and his brother standing out front when the house was first built. That was really neat to see. It has been really great restoring this house. I'm glad that it got preserved, and it's just a beautiful house. I just love living in this house, and it's been a great experience.
All of our projects are about preservation. Anytime you move a house, though, it's really also about sustainability and recycling. What amazes me is people get all worked up over whether to use a paper or a plastic bag, or whether they can recycle a particular kind of plastic, but they don't seem to think twice about demolishing an entire house and sending it to the landfill. With this house here that we relocated to 408 North Cedar Street, we had a house that had to be moved. We found someone who had a lot that they would like to put an old house on, and we put the deal together.
The house was relocated from downtown Greensboro. It was originally located on Blandwood Avenue, and it was on land that's currently going to be used for the new Guilford County Jail.
It's a beautiful Queen Anne home that will add to this neighborhood. I'm watching all the excitement on the neighborhood, on the street today as we're moving this home. It's going to create a lot of stir in the neighborhood, and other people get them more interested in looking at their own home and saying, you know, I have a really neat home too. It may be old, but it needs to be loved and taken care of. I don't need to go to the latest style here or there.
By moving this house, not only do we keep tons of debris out of the landfill, but we're recycling all the materials that were used to build it. And the amazing thing is most of those materials are actually far superior to today's construction materials.
And the Development Fund has been a wonderful tool and the catalyst in getting all of this movement going to recycle and repair and reuse this home.
A lot of times when you do preservation in a residential neighborhood, what you're doing is it's community building and neighborhood stabilization. By having this house here and having it refurbished, it's hopefully going to protect this entire little community here and make it continue to thrive. It will bring new investment in. If you put money into a house, it's contagious. People around you see that as a vote of confidence in their property, and they're willing to invest in their houses. What we try to do is make sure we don't lose money on any individual project and actually hopefully walk away making a little money on each project. That's one way the fund will grow, but that would be more slowly, at least initially. What we're really hoping to do is find some major donors who would be willing to help us grow the fund in more significant steps.
So we hope to see a strong and growing development fund that's able to partner with developers and maybe even government entities in the community to see some real challenging preservation issues that we have addressed in a creative manner that results in the retention of these buildings for future generations to enjoy.
One of the frustrating things about the development fund so far has been just how many opportunities there are out there that we've been unable to participate in because the fund is not bigger. In some other cities, similar funds are in excess of $1 million. And when you think about how many opportunities there are out there that we could be taking advantage of if we had more money in the bank, in addition to making these projects happen, we really want very much to grow the development fund, the amount of money that we have to bring to bear. There are important preservation projects where if all you're trying to do is urge someone else to do the right thing, that isn't going to work. And you need to be in a position to actually have a stake in the project, a legal or a financial stake in the property, so that you can control the disposition and make sure that it is protected. And that's what we're trying to do with the development fund.